How's it going, folks? I'm Des with DesFit, and this is the brand new Pixel Watch from Google, and this has been a pretty hyped up watch for a lot of reasons. First of all, it's Google's first actual smartwatch of their own. Another interesting thing is that since they acquired Fitbit last year, they also chose to include Fitbit functionality straight out of the box, which does make a lot of sense. One thing that may not make as much sense, though, is that they recently also came out with the Fitbit Sense 2, so you may be curious about the differences between the Pixel Watch and the Sense 2, but don't worry, I have a follow-up video where I'll be comparing these two, so make sure to subscribe to get a notification when that video comes out. This video is more about unboxing it, getting it set up, taking a really up-close look at it, as well as doing an interface tour, just so you can get an idea of what this watch is all about. And then I'll also have another follow-up video where I'll be doing a full in-depth review of the Pixel Watch, especially surrounding the health and fitness aspects of this device, so make sure to have those notification bells on to get a little when that video comes out. And one very important thing to note before we get started is that you have to have an Android phone to set up the Pixel Watch. You can't use the Pixel Watch with an iPhone, which is actually one of the big differences between the Sense 2 and the Pixel Watch, is that with the Sense 2, you can use that with an iPhone or an Android phone. With the Pixel Watch, it only works with an Android phone. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get rolling. All right, so as we can see from the box here, I have the LTE version for you today, and I think this is what they call the Obsidian Black color, I believe. So let's go ahead and get these tabs, check this thing out. There we go. Looks like some instructions down here. Here we have the Pixel Watch itself. Then inside here, we have a smaller strap, as well as a charging cable. This charging cable actually looks to be quite long, which I quite like. Oh yeah, that's a very nice long charging cable there. All right, so here is the watch itself. Let's go ahead and show it off before I turn it on and get it set up. There's that new heart rate sensor, which is supposed to be pretty accurate. And it really does have a quite, like, I don't want to say heavy feel to it, but it feels solid, I guess you could say. Okay, so you're going to need a couple different apps to fully set this up. So the first app you're going to need is the Google Pixel Watch app. So let's go and open this up. Go and press continue. Agree to all the terms. Then it's going to ask to sign into your Google account, which you should probably be signed in on your Android phone probably already. And then now here's the second portion of what we have to do. So now we actually have to connect your Fitbit account, and this does require the actual Fitbit app. So these are two separate apps at this point. Then here's where you can access the Google Assistant with Hey Google. And then since I already have it already set up, we're just going to go and activate voice match. And there we go. And again, the reason that it skipped a lot of steps here is that I already have Google Assistant already set up on my phone and my Google account. And then here is where it's going to ask you to set a lock on your watch. So you can either set a pattern or a pin. So if you set pattern right here, here is where we can do, let's say, that. Confirming it. There we go. And then here's where you're going to set up Google Wallet. And I already have a payment card set up in Google Pay. And then we can select which apps for the Google Watch we want to have on here. So installed in the device already, it looks like we have Spotify, Google Camera, Google Keep, Strava is already going to be pre-installed, as well as a Hole 19 Golf GPS app. And then there's going to be some recommended apps that you can download that they just automatically pop up here. So that's going to ask for some of your permissions. Allow, 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 allow. And now it's going to be doing a little bit of a setup. All right, so the watch is going to be restarting now. Like pretty much all devices, it's going to have a system update once you receive the watch. So that's what it's going to be doing right now. And we will check back in just a second. So it's actually restarted at this point. So now let's go ahead and connect it to my Fitbit account. So I already have the Fitbit app already pre-installed here, and I was using it with a different Fitbit device. But now we can do connect a device right here. So what are we trying to set up? You see in the list here, in addition to the actual Fitbit branded wearables here, we also have the Google Pixel Watch right up top. So we're going to go ahead and click that, set it up, agree to a few more things. And with the Google Pixel Watch, as well as pretty much every Fitbit device, it comes with a 6-month free Fitbit trial, basically. So we're going to go ahead and start that membership. So there we go. It has already synced. So if we go back, here's going to be where it's going to be a pretty standard Fitbit interface right here. I actually just published my Fitbit Inspire 3 review, so you're welcome to go and check out that video for a little bit of a tour of the Fitbit app. But the Fitbit app really is a very well-designed app in terms of collecting all your health and activity tracking data. So that's the setup with the Fitbit app. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of a tour of the Pixel Watch here. So first off, we have that pattern recognition that we have right there. If I swipe up from the bottom, this is going to be your notifications. So there's an email and a couple other notifications that we have here. So if we click on this email, there we go. Signed up for my trial of the Fitbit Premium membership. Clearing that by just swiping to the right. And then if we swipe from the top, this is where you're going to be able to access your settings, quick settings, such as airplane mode, brightness of the display, turn that up, Google Wallet as well right here, as well as a flashlight. Here is where it's kind of interesting. So you see how they actually blend the flashlight into the black bezel of the case. So this has been a little bit of a controversial topic, I guess you could say, is that the bezel, it definitely does show up quite a bit on some areas of the interface. Okay, and then if we swipe to the right or the left, we can see different tiles here. So first up, we're going to have the steps tile right here, heart rate, exercise shortcuts, and then here's where we're going to tap on more to access all the exercises that you can have on here. And what's nice about the Pixel Watch is that it does have all these profiles already on the watch itself. You don't have to go and delete any, like the Inspire 3 where you can only have 6 at one time on there. There you go. There's obviously no sleep data quite yet because I'm just setting this up. And then I don't have any schedules, events today, weather, and then here's going to be Google Map information once you have already set up your home and or work address in your phone. And then for the rest of the apps that it comes with, so here's going to be an agenda, alarm, Google Assistance, your contacts, a Find My Phone feature. Here's going to be the Fitbit exercise app, Fitbit Today, which is going to just show all your actual health data from today, like steps, heart rate, flashlight feature, Google Wallet. You also have a hand wash timer. It's going to be Google Maps, media controls for controlling the music playback on your phone or possibly on the watch itself, your text messages, personal safety features, phone, Google Play Store, settings, stopwatch, timer, weather, and then YouTube Music. And it's still installing the other apps that I had chosen from the setup process right now. And then from the watch face itself too, you can go ahead and tap on these little, I guess you could say this complications right here. Click that, it'll show your heart rate. So again, don't really have much information at this point on this particular watch. If I click steps over here, it'll bring up this where it'll just show your steps. Then if you click on this center one right here, it'll kind of give you more of the summary information for the steps taken during the day, floors climbed, distance for the day, calories burned, active zone minutes, exercise in terms of how many days you've exercised in the last 5 days, and then hourly activity, heart rate, resting heart rate, sleep. All right, so it definitely has been said that it's a bit tricky to get the bands on and off. And so let's go ahead and take the band off now. You're apparently supposed to press this button right here and then rotate the band in the direction of the button. Okay, easy enough to take off, but how is it to put back on? Okay, not bad. All right, so the trick here, I think, is that you don't necessarily want to line it up with the gap right there. So it's not like you want to just slide it into place like that. You actually want to have it as far over, kind of overlapping this button over here. You kind of see that? And it'll actually kind of feel like it's setting in place, and then you just rotate it in. So let's go and do that again really quick. Press the button, rotate it in the direction of the button, and then to get it back in, again, don't line it up like that, but actually overlap it and it'll kind of rest into place. push it in, rotate it, there you go. And in terms of the construction, it really is a nice looking watch. So this is the, like I said, I think this is the Obsidian Black version that I have right here. You'll notice really nice dark case color right there. This is a really nice finish. It feels very premium indeed. The crown also, if I remember correctly from the other versions of the watch or the other color options, the crown is kind of like the silver color that really sticks out. This black color is a lot more subdued. And then everything just like kind of blends into each other right here. It is really nice looking. For wearability, I have a 185 millimeter circumference wrist. And this is the longer band that I have right here. It also does come with the shorter band. So the longer band fits me probably about right. So there you go. That's what it looks like on my 185 millimeter circumference wrist. And it looks like I still have 2 notches remaining right there, but plenty of notches here. So you can definitely have a much larger wrist size. Let's go ahead and check out what the small band will feel like on here though. Oh, look at that. I'm kind of a pro at this now. Yeah, that's really not that bad. With a little bit of practice, not that bad. So with the small band, so I could wear either band. The small band, I only have 1 hole remaining right there. So I actually may rock the small band just because there's less band to actually tuck back in, which, you know, you kind of have to like shove the lots of extra band on the long band in there. So yeah, I may actually rock the small band, but totally works. For being such a small case size, to be honest with you, it's really not, it doesn't really feel all that small on the wrist. And again, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it actually really does have a nice solid feel to it. It's not like heavy or anything like that, but it just feels like well built, I guess you could say. And then, like I said, I will be doing a full comparison of the Pixel Watch to the Sense 2 at some point, but I will just go ahead and give you at least a size comparison straight out of the gate on here, just so you can kind of see what it's all about. But as you can see, it's actually pretty similar to the Sense 2. It's probably just a hair smaller in the whole scheme of things, but I will go ahead and show you how this looks on the wrist as well. These do use 2 different heart rate sensors on the back, but in terms of how these look, let's go ahead and do the Pixel Watch first. So there you go. Then let's try on the Sense 2. So definitely the Sense 2 does look bigger on the wrist just because of the square display. So here's kind of a side-by-side comparison. But the Pixel Watch does sit off the wrist, or it seems like it sits off the wrist just a little bit higher. And if we compare the height of the watches, the Pixel Watch definitely is a little bit thicker. So I hope that helps you get an idea of the setup process as well as a general idea of getting around the interface. But like I said, I'll have a full in-depth review of the Pixel Watch that'll be coming up soon. So make sure to subscribe to get a notification when that video comes out. And if the information in this video did help you out at all, don't be shy about hitting that like button down below. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.